Okay, let's talk about something you probably never think about. Your socks. Yeah, I know. But what if I told you that simple pair you pull on every morning without even a second thought could be hiding a pretty nasty secret? We're about to dig into how this everyday item might actually be a hidden health hazard.
I mean, really think about it for a second. This is a piece of clothing that is literally pressed against your skin for hours and hours, soaking up sweat. So you've got to ask the question, right? Could the stuff they're made of, the dyes they use, be doing some kind of harm that we're completely unaware of?
Wow, okay, that's a huge statement. Inferior socks can cause cancer. It sounds like something out of a horror movie, but it's not just for shock value. This is the exact warning that has come out of official investigations and major media reports, the very ones we're about to unpack. The idea here is that certain chemicals used to make these socks can pose a really serious risk. So you're probably wondering, where is this information even coming from? Well, it's not just some random rumor on the internet. These are serious warnings backed up by official reports and media exposés that have dragged this issue right into the spotlight. And this is a really big deal. We're not talking about some obscure blog here. These investigations were done by major, credible media outlets like CCTV. They actually went out, bought products right off the shelf, sent them to a lab, and what they found, well, it exposed the dangers hiding in these everyday textiles. And the results from those reports? They are absolutely staggering. Get this, in some of the worst cases, they found socks that contained known carcinogens at levels more than 20 times the accepted national safety standard. That's not just a little bit over the line, that is a massive, massive failure in product safety. So what's the actual culprit? Well, a lot of the time, it's a group of chemicals called azo dyes. Now, manufacturers love them because they're cheap and they make colors super bright and vibrant. Here's the problem though. When those dyes mix with the sweat and bacteria on our skin, they can literally break down and release these nasty substances called aromatic amines. And yep, some of those are known to cause cancer. Okay, so knowing all that is pretty scary, but what can you actually do about it? This is where you get to take control. Let's go through your defensive playbook, a super simple checklist that will help you spot the danger before you even get to the checkout counter. And honestly, it's way easier than you might think. You just have to use your senses. This is a 3-step check you can do right there in the store. First, give the socks a sniff. Do they have a really strong, kind of pungent chemical smell? That's a huge red flag. Second, just look at the color. Does it seem almost cartoonishly bright? That could mean they used some cheap, harsh dyes. And third, feel them. Bad quality socks often feel stiff, rough, or sometimes even have this weird, greasy kind of finish. When you put them side by side like this, the difference is just crystal clear, isn't it? A good, safe pair of socks. It should smell like nothing, the color should look natural, and it shouldn't bleed like crazy in the wash. And it should feel soft. The bad stuff is pretty much the exact opposite on every single point. Now, beyond that physical check, the label itself can give you some major clues. You want to be a little suspicious if the label is super vague about what the socks are actually made of, or if you can't find any mention of safety certifications. And of course, there's the price. If it seems way too good to be true, it probably is. All right, so you've used your playbook, you've spotted the good stuff, and you bought a decent pair. Awesome. But your defense doesn't stop there. There are a few really simple habits at home that can cut down the risk even more and make sure what you're wearing is as safe as possible for you and your family. This is so important for any new clothes, but especially for socks. Always, and I mean always, wash them before you wear them for the first time. Use a gentle detergent, and it's a good idea to wash them by themselves that first time to see if the color runs a lot. That's another bad sign. And here's a little pro tip. Adding a bit of salt or white vinegar to that first wash can actually help set the dye and stop it from bleeding. Seriously, whatever you do, do not skip that first wash. Just think of it as your final line of defense. You're washing away all those loose extra dyes and any leftover chemicals from the factory before they get a chance to spend a whole day pressed up against your skin. And all of this leads to one final thought. We've been focusing on socks because they're such a perfect, overlooked example. But now that you know what to smell for, what to look for, and what to feel for, what else in your closet, what else in your home, really, might deserve a second, much more careful look?